Hi, welcome to QA Scripts. In this session, we will learn what is super keyword and what is the use of super keyword in programs of core Java. Super is a reference variable that is used to refer immediate parent class object. Here, when I say parent class, they are nothing but methods inside the class, variables as well as constructor. Using super keyword, we can refer immediate parent class, variables, methods as well as constructors. There are three different use of super keyword. One is super is used to refer immediate parent class instance variable. This time it's a instance variable in first case. Second usage is super is used to invoke immediate parent class constructor. Here second point saying that super key is going to useful to invoke immediate parent class constructor. It may be one or it may be two constructor. There are no limits. The third point is super is used to invoke immediate parent class methods. This time we are going to use super keyword to invoke methods. It may be one method or more than one methods. Let us look at all of these points with simple examples. The first one is super is used to refer immediate parent class instance variables. Here I have written one class called super vehicle. Inside super vehicle class I have one integer variable, that is int speed equals to 50. The value what I have assigned is 50. I have created one more class called superbike1 and this is extended to super vehicle. When I extend from one class to another class, the class which is extended becomes a child class. The class which is there at the right side of extends becomes parent class. In our example, super vehicle is super class or parent class, super bike is child class. As an inheritance concept, all the objects, variables which are present in the parent class has to be available in child class too. In child class, I am going to define one variable of int data type as speed and value what I am going to assign here is 100. In super class, I have used same name variable, that is int speed, but the value is different there. After creating int speed variable and assigning 100 as value to it, I am going to create one method called void display. Inside the void display, I will use system.out.println to print the speed. The value of speed I would like to print out here. Later, anyway, I will be having a main method inside it. So main method, I will create object. Inside the main, I will create the object of child class. Here child class is nothing but super bike 1. So using that I will create object. Here I have now defined super bike 1 b equals to new super bike 1. So b is the object of class super bike. When I type b dot, I will be able to see one method called display method because the method is present inside the super bike class. When I got display method and execute, the result would be 100 because the value of speed is 100. Let me do it in Eclipse so that it will be easy to execute and understand. Here is the super vehicle class and its variable speed with the value, initial value as 50. Now I have created one more class called superbike and extended to super vehicle. Here I have same variable name but the value is different. Here I have given as 100. I have created one method called display. Inside the display I have system.out.println and I am calling speed. Inside the main method I have created object called b using class superbike1, and when I type b1 dot b dot I'll be able to see display method. Let me execute this piece of code and let us see the result. As soon as I started running, it has displayed the value of speed is 100 because here I have given as 100. Now the same variable we have in superclass as well. I want to get the value as 50 which is present at the base class. To do that, what we have to do is we have to use super keyword. At the line number 5th, I was calling speed. I was using speed variable since the variable value in this class, in this superbike class, is 100. Hence, the result was 100. Now, what I have done? I have done some changes, such as I have used super keyword before the variable, that is speed. When I save this and execute, the value here I am getting at the console is 50. 50 because it is coming from parent class, immediate parent class. Hence, the super keyword is going to helpful for the instance variable to get the value from immediate parent class. Let me create one more class called super2. Here I will say super1 because I will extend superbike 2 to superbike 1. I will declare one more variable but with the same name called speed, and I will assign value as 200 this time. Here I am going to write the same method, that is display, and I will create one object, let me say b1 this time, but I'm going to use superbike 2 class, same class I'm going to use to create the object. Let me execute this piece of code and see what is the result going to display in the console. As soon as I execute, it is giving result as 200 because the value of speed is 200 in this class, that is superbike 2 class. I have a variable called speed and the value what I have assigned is 200. Now I want to display the speed value present at the immediate parent. For superbike 2 class, what is the immediate parent? The immediate parent class is superbike 1. This is the parent for superbike 2. Now let me use super keyword here. After using super keyword, let me execute. Now the value what I am getting is 100. So super is the one keyword. It will help us to refer the values of instance variable which is present at the immediate parent. So the superbike 1 is the immediate parent class for the superbike 2, but here I have a same variable in the super class also, having 50 as its value. When you execute from superbike 2, it will take the value of immediate parent, that is superbike 1, not from the super class, that is super variable. So this is how we can use super keyword to invoke instance variables of immediate parent class. The second use of super keyword, here super is used to invoke immediate parent class constructor. The previous example what we have observed is for the variable, instance variable of a class, it was invoking at the child class referring to immediate super class. Here super is used to invoke immediate parent class constructor. Let me write one simple class called super vehicle. Inside that I will create constructor using the same class name. Inside the constructor I will write one message to print out. The message is message from super vehicle class. After that I will create one more class called super bike 1, and I will use extends to super vehicle. Inside the super bike 1 I have a constructor saying super bike 1. Inside constructor I have a system.out.println to print a message called message from superbike 1. Inside the main method I have created object using superbike 1. I have not done anything else apart from creating an object. After executing this piece of code, this will invoke the message present in superclass as well. Let us see this concept using Eclipse programmatically. Here is the super vehicle class. Inside super vehicle class I have created constructor and trying to publish a message called message from superclass vehicle. Now I have created one more class called superbike 1, and it will get extended to super vehicle. Now super vehicle class is parent class and superbike 1 is the child class. Inside the child class I will create constructor, that is superbike 1 of, I will open the curly bracket and close the curly bracket. Inside the curly bracket I will use super keyword and I will write one system.out.println and I will try to print a message called message from super class or superbike 1. And as usual I am going to create one object inside main method using superbike 1 class. As soon as I create object, since superbike has a constructor, so this constructor will get executed. But here I have extended to super class, that is super vehicle, and I have used super keyword as well. Hence they should call the constructor of super class 2. Here super class is super vehicle and I have a constructor, so this constructor message has to be called 2 because I have used super. So let us execute from this class, that is superbike 1. When I execute superbike 1 class, it is printing two different messages. One is message from super vehicle class and another one is message from superbike 1. So the second message here I am getting from child class, whereas message from super vehicle class it is coming from parent class, that is super vehicle. This is because I have used super key inside the constructor. So super key is useful to invoke constructor of immediate parent class. Sometime, not sometime, most of the time, even if you don't use super keyword and execute, still it will give the same result, because in the constructor the default super keyword will be defined. The compare will by default it will be placed automatically. Hence, if you use super keyword inside the constructor, or if you don't use a super keyword in the inside the constructor, by default it will created inside and it will call the constructor of immediate super class. Here I have given the same points, that is super is added in each class constructor automatically by compiler. Default constructor is provided by compiler automatically, but it also adds super keyword. If you are creating your own constructor and you don't have either this or super as the first statement, compiler will provide super keyword as the first statement of constructor. The third usage is super can be used to invoke parent class methods. Here I have written one class called person. Inside this class I have created one method as message. Inside the message I am trying to print out use a message using system.out.println. So the what is message I would like to print out here is message from person class. Now I will create one more class called student and I will use extends to person so that I can avail message method also in my child class. Now I will write one more same method, that is void message, and inside the message I am going to print out a message saying that message from student class. In parent class what I given, the message is message from person class, whereas in a student class I have given message from student class. I will create one more method called display and I will call the message method inside the display. And let us look at without using super keyword. Hence I will comment the line number 11 10 I'm sorry 11 line number 9th. Inside the main I'm going to create object of student class. The object name here is yes. When I say yes dot, I will be able to see one message, one method called display. This is coming from student class. There is another method called message. Again, this is coming from student class. Now let me execute this piece of code. So when I execute this piece of code, what message is coming out here is message from student class, because the message present at the child class level, same method is present at the parent class level. If you recall overriding concept, and when I call a method from child class, the child class method was getting higher priority and was getting executed. Here is also same message method present inside the student, that is child class, is getting